There's one more thing to keep in mind when dealing with relative URLs. Let me show you what I mean. Let's go to our My Website folder. And remember I made this other folder, More Pages, and inside here I have the extra page. Well, sometimes you may choose to have another folder with other pages in there just to organize your site. If you have a small website, you probably just want to put all the pages in the main folder, but there could be sometimes where you want to have another folder with extra pages inside of it. So I'm going to show you how to link from one of these pages to this page inside here. Now, one thing you got to keep in mind when you're doing relative URLs, you can only go down. So these folders are in the My Website folder. You can see the name up here. You can also see the folder name on the end of this right here, My Website. Now, a subfolder of the My Website folder is this More Pages folder, and inside of that, you've got the extra page. Now, by doing a regular relative URL, if you wanted to link from any one of these pages to another one of these pages, you would just type in the page name.html. Like if you want to link from contact to FAQ, here when you made your hyperlink, you would just type in faq.html and it would link from this one to this one. But since this is in a subfolder, you're going to need to put in a special extra thing to tell it, okay, look in the folder you're in, then look inside this folder, and then look for this page. And one thing when you're doing relative URLs, you can always go down into a subfolder, but if you're in a subfolder and you want to link to one of the pages in a folder above it, you have to use an absolute URL. And the way you would do that would be that you would first upload this page and these pages to the web, which I'm going to show you how to do in the next few parts of this course. First you upload them to the web and then you get the absolute URL, and then on this page, extra page, you could link to those pages, but you cannot do a relative URL going back up into the page, into the main folder above the subfolder you're in. So you can only go down. So let's open our index file again, where we can edit, and I'm going to add a little line here, link to extra page in subfolder, click here. Okay, so the click here, if you want people to click on a link, click here is usually a good thing to put. So I highlight that, I hit link, and if I choose a file, I go to choose a file, and then I want to select more pages. I want to click on this extra page and hit open. And you'll see, what did it do? It gave this, more pages, that's the folder, / extra page.html. So what does this mean? It told it, first look in the more pages folder, and that's what this part is, up to the /. So that's the more pages folder, /. Now look for, in that folder, look for extra pages.html. And I kind of screwed that up when I was highlighting it. So we choose a file again. We want to make sure we're in the more pages folder, extra page. There we go. It's as simple as that. But always keep in mind, since this is in the more pages folder, it's the extra page.html. And we hit OK, and it makes our hyperlink. Now we go to File, Save As. This is our index page. So we hit Save, and yes, I want to overwrite it. And if we go to My Website, and we click on that index page, and we scroll down, it says link to extra page in subfolder, click here, we click there. And that extra page, remember, it was just a copy of our contact page, so it's, you can see up here from the menu that we are in that extra page.html. So that's how you link to a page in a subfolder. Now I just want to show you that that type of relative URL is the same thing you're doing when you insert a picture. So let me delete this picture. I'm not on the one I can edit here, so I got to open the one I can edit. And if I go down, let's delete this picture. Now let's reinsert it. Let's center it this time. So I center my cursor first. Now I go to Image. Image location. Let's hit Choose File. And again, we're clicking on, it's on the Images folder. and I want to insert Brian too. I hit open, and look, we see images/brian2.jpg. So here it's telling it to look in the images folder and then look for the file called brian2.jpg. Okay, now if there was another folder inside the images folder, we could have it say images/something else, whatever that folder name is, and then keep nesting it. So anytime you want to include a folder in your link, you just type in the folder name and then a /. URL is relative to page location. Alternate text is picture of Brian Campbell. And we hit OK, and the picture goes back in. But images, you also use the same rules for URLs as hyperlinks. Now you can use a relative URL or an absolute URL for images as well. So when you're hand coding, you're going to keep that in mind, but for the editor, it's pretty intuitive. So now we save our page file, save this guy as the index page, and we hit save, and yes, we'll overwrite that, and that's our page for now. And that shows you how to do hyperlinks.